Why is Wonderland helping Dinah? Today's mystery begins inside a room that seems completely empty. But when the room suddenly fills with water, Dinah realizes the flood isn't random. It's leading her somewhere. Listen to natural English pronunciation and let's see if you can solve the mystery before Dinah does. Let's begin. Dinah's Wonderland, Chapter 2. The room that was awaiting. Dinah had expected the room beyond the door to be empty, but it wasn't. The hall looked abandoned now, but the air told her otherwise. Then Dinah stepped carefully onto the floor. Alice looked for her own way forward. She doesn't know I'm here with her anymore, Dinah said to herself. Dinah lowered her nose toward the floor. The rabbit scent was still there, faintly, but it was mixed with something else now. Dinah looked for signs that something had already been there. She saw a small scratch marked the bottom of one door and a feather resting beneath another. A tiny footprint crossed the dust and disappeared beneath a cabinet. The room remembered its visitors by keeping the same strange smell from those that were there before. She followed the smell of the clock towards the center of the room. Nothing was there. Dinah looked around. The scent had stopped, almost as if something had made it disappear on purpose. Alice pulled at another door. "It won't open," Alice said. Dinah looked towards her. "Maybe it doesn't want to open yet," Dinah thought. Before Dinah could go to help Alice, a large drop of water landed on the floor, then another. Dinah looked upward and watched the water carefully. The water rose quickly. A small beetle climbed from beneath a table leg, and a bird flew down from a high shelf. A mouse floated past on a piece of wood. Dinah realized the room had never been empty. Everyone had simply been somewhere else. Dinah searched for higher ground. She didn't dare try to fight the water. The current moved toward the center. Objects floated in certain directions. The water was not random. It was showing her where things moved. Dinah stepped onto a floating box, then a wooden board, then a small chair. Each place only lasted a moment before the water carried it away. She watched and waited, then moved. A bird landed above her. "Left," it called to her. Dinah looked left. Another bird flew past. "Not there," it warned. Dinah changed directions. The birds spoke strangely. They didn't explain much. They simply noticed things. Dinah understood that much and followed their directions. Eventually, she reached a dry board. The water slowed and the room became quiet again. Dinah looked down. The water carried a small object past her. A piece of metal. She leaned closer. It looked very old. It was a tiny piece of something that once belonged to a larger object. Before she could see it clearly, the water turned and carried it away. Dinah watched until it disappeared. The scent of the clock returned. It was stronger now than before. Dinah looked towards the place where the objects were disappearing. Wonderland was not hiding one thing. It was hiding many small pieces of things. She watched the water carry another object past her. This time, she noticed something different. The water was not moving randomly. Every object was being carried toward the same direction. Dinah looked across the room. Beyond the shelves and the floating furniture was a small opening she had not noticed before. The water moved towards it. The birds had noticed too. One landed nearby. "That way," it said. Dinah looked at the opening. Why? She asked. The bird tilted its head. Because you're looking, it replied. Before Dinah could ask what that meant, the bird flew away. The water beneath her board shifted. Dinah looked down. The room was changing again. The flood was not only leaving, but was also carrying her somewhere on purpose. She stepped carefully from one floating object to the next. This time, she was not searching for dry ground. She was following the path the water created. As she moved closer to the opening, the scent of the clock became stronger and stronger. Then, suddenly, it disappeared, and Dinah stopped. The scent was gone. She looked around the empty space. Something had hidden it again. The opening ahead became brighter. Dinah took one more step forward, and the water carried her through. Dinah could sense that somewhere beyond the room, something had been waiting for her to notice what others seemed to be ignoring.